Few names in Hollywood history evoke the same sense of glamour, courage and eccentricity as Tippi Hedren. A muse to Alfred Hitchcock and the star of legendary films like The Birds and Marnie, Tippi's career was nothing short of remarkable. But it wasn't just her film roles that cemented her place in Hollywood lore. It was her extraordinary love for animals, particularly her bold decision to share her home with lions. Tippi's life in the 1970s was like a scene straight out of a Hollywood script. Living in Sherman Oaks, a suburb of Los Angeles, she shared a home not only with her family, but also with a lion named Neil. Yes, a fully grown 400-pound lion who roamed freely through their home. Tippi began her journey as a fashion model, gracing the covers of top magazines before catching the eye of Alfred Hitchcock, who cast her in The Birds. This breakout role established her as a Hollywood icon, and her natural beauty and fearless performances left an indelible mark on cinema. Her net worth is estimated to be around $20 million, even though she and Alfred Hitchcock had a falling out during her career that left her without work for years. Yet behind the glamour and scandals, Tippi had a profound passion for animals. In 1969, during a trip to Africa, Tippi and her then husband, Noel Marshall, stumbled upon an abandoned game warden's house taken over by a pride of lions. This encounter inspired them to create a film about living with big cats and to take a big cat into their own home to live, a decision that would transform their lives forever. Tippi's Los Angeles home was a sprawling property with plenty of space for her family and their unusual housemate. Neil, a lion they adopted, quickly became part of the household. His presence was anything but subtle. From lounging by the pool to snoozing in the bed of Tippi's famous daughter, Melanie Griffith, Neil lived like a true king. Now, one of the most jaw-dropping moments came when Tippi found Neil curled up on Melanie's bed. His massive head rested just inches from her daughter's face, a sight that would terrify most mothers. But for the Hedren family, it was just another day with their favourite house cat. Neil didn't just stick to the bedrooms though. He roamed freely throughout the house, even taking over the kitchen from time to time. Staff members had to step cautiously around him as he lounged on the floor or stuck his massive muzzle into the fridge, hunting for snacks or staring out the expansive windows. For those that visited the home, it didn't take long to see that Neil wasn't just a pet, he was a fully fledged family member. He would often be seen in typical cat fashion, trying to squeeze on the desk, while Noel worked in the study, making sure that his presence was known. Tippi often used him as a makeshift pillow while reading the newspaper, and Melanie called him her best friend. Yet, living with a lion came with its risks. Tippi later admitted they were stupid beyond belief to let a wild lion roam freely in their house. Despite their careful training and respect for Neil's instincts, there were close calls as one would expect. One night, Neil attacked his trainer Ron Oxley during a dinner party. The altercation left guests stunned and served as a stark reminder that lions are, at their core, wild animals. Yet for Melanie, Neil was still seen as a gentle companion. She often played with him by the pool, and their bond made her the talk of her school. Hedren would even take to wrestling with Neil on the floor in the home, which can quickly take an aggressive turn, but she trusted Neil and saw him as a family pet. Behind the carefree photos, Tippi and her family did know they were treading a fine line between affection and danger, but that didn't stop them loving big cats. In fact, Neil's presence in their home inspired the family to create Roar, a film about a family living with lions, tigers and panthers. What started as an ambitious project quickly turned into a chaotic ordeal. By the time the film was complete, the family had adopted over 70 big cats. Roar was a labour of love and danger. During filming, injuries were common. Tippi was bitten on the head, Melanie required plastic surgery after a lion clawed her face, and the director of photography needed over 200 stitches after a lion attack. The film took 5 years to complete and cost a staggering $17 million. While it was a box office flop, it remains a remarkable glimpse into the Hedren family's unique relationship with big cats. To this day, it's considered one of the most dangerous films ever made, and it was during these moments Tippi and Noel realised that living with Neil gave them a false sense of security. However, this realization didn't deter them. Throughout the film, they began adopting more lions as well as tigers and leopards. The house became a playground for these animals, and while they had plans to build a better suited space for their wildcats, their presence in the meantime came at a cost. The once pristine home was destroyed by their claws, teeth, and sheer size. By the time they moved to their animal sanctuary, the family had 6 lion cubs wreaking havoc in the house. Tippi recalled how neighbors grew alarmed, and the local authorities began keeping a closer eye on their activities. This chaos ultimately led to the creation of the Shambhala Preserve, where Tippi could care for her animals in a more controlled environment. The preserve became a safe haven for big cats rescued from abuse or neglect. Tippi didn't stop caring for her animals just because they showed true acts of nature. She became a fierce advocate for animal rights, lobbying Congress to pass legislation banning the trafficking of big cats across state lines. Her work paved the way for stronger protections for exotic animals. Today, Tippi remains an icon, not just for her film roles, but for her commitment to animal welfare. The Shambhala Preserve continues to operate, housing dozens of big cats who might otherwise have no place to go. Her Los Angeles residence was a bold experiment in living alongside nature's most majestic creatures. While she regretted the risks she took, her story remains a fascinating chapter in Hollywood history. From lounging by the pool to snoozing on beds, Neil the Lion lived a life few animals could ever dream of. And for Tippi and her family, those years remain a mix of fond memories and lessons learned. Her granddaughter, actress Dakota Johnson, shared that even at the age of 90, Tippi prefers to live with 13 or 14 lions and tigers, and the family often opens up their shared love for cats. While Dakota has spent time with the big cats at her grandmother's home, she never experienced the danger of them roaming the home as wild animals. She said, "By the time I was born, they were all in huge compounds and it was a lot safer, and it wasn't as totally psycho as it was when they first started." Tippi Hedren's story is one of adventure, risk and passion. Her unique bond with lions shaped her life and left a lasting legacy for animal rights, and as you can see, her family is following in her footsteps. The property in Sherman Oaks was a spacious suburban home transformed into a playground for lions and other exotic animals, and it reflected Tippi's deep connection with wildlife. But it was also a place of learning, where she realized the importance of respecting nature's boundaries and began her work as an animal rights advocate. She once said, "I've had a love of animals from birth. I love getting to know other species. We should all be aware that there isn't one thing we can give a wild animal in captivity that they need." Her time living with lions may have brought challenges, but it also sparked a lifelong mission to protect big cats. The Shambhala Preserve serves as a beacon of hope for exotic animals, just as Tippi envisioned when she left Hollywood behind to dedicate her life to their care. Tippi Hedren's extraordinary home and life are a reminder of the powerful connection between humans and animals and the responsibility we have to protect them. Now, if you enjoyed this tour of Tippi Hedren's home and her incredible life with lions, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about Hollywood's golden age. See you in the next video.